Media Talk. Joining me is Wayne Garcia and William, a.k.a. Bill McKeen. Thank you very much for joining me. Before you guys talk, I still don't have my little plate of food. Nobody's brought me my food yet. And nobody's told me the race score. What's the race score?
12-9. I have no idea. I just made that up. I don't know what the race score is.
Welcome to the show, Wayne and Bill. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Now, Wayne, the cover story is all about end of the summer reading.
Yeah, I mean, David Warner, our editor, basically took this humongous pile of books that had been sent in over a 3-year period to us. We don't have a normal book reviewer in-house, and he said, review all these books. And one of the books that came in, but that we had requested because we knew it was coming out, was Bill's book on Hunter Thompson, because I don't think there's a journalist alive of my generation who doesn't worship the ground that Hunter Thompson walked on. And so we did a cover story basically reviewing lots and lots of books, a lot of which you've never heard of and are interesting reads, and the top of the list of those was Bill's book.
How, you guys did this because David had all these books to read, and then he said for you guys to all take up.
Yeah, but basically it's just another way for David to fob his work off on us. Yes, that's what
Nice.
it is. That's exactly what it is.
Now, I read a little bit of that, and I guess the idea of people send their books to an editor for him to review, correct?
Well, they want to get reviews and a little free publicity.
Well, Bill, why did you send your book in? That exact reason?
I wanted to sell. I wanted to sell copies, and so my publicist sends them out to every place that I can find, and I wanted to sell in Tampa, so I knew I'd have to deal with Creative Loafing.
Now, tell us what Outlaw Journalist is all about.
Well, it's the real story of Hunter Thompson, rather than.
Who was Hunter Thompson?
Hunter was the quintessential outlaw journalist. He was the guy that wrote for Rolling Stone, wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, rode with the Hells Angels. Kind of the journalist that defined what the edge was. I mean, Anderson Cooper, he didn't know anything about the edge. Hunter Thompson knew the edge. And that's what this book is about. It's the real story of this guy who was kind of turned into a cartoon character, I think, by pop culture. So we kind of remove all of the legend and all of the myth and the sort of craziness around him and try and tell the real story of his life.
But this is a pop icon. I mean, when you say turned into a caricature, he was literally turned into a cartoon by Doonesbury. And if you read Doonesbury, Duke in Doonesbury, the ambassador now the lobbyist who's doing all these, that is Hunter Thompson.
How did you know him?
He based that very unhappily on Hunter. Hunter Thompson was not happy.
And Hunter was also played in the movies by Bill Murray and Johnny Depp. So he's somebody that, even if you never read one of his books, you knew who he was. And I wanted to give some attention to the fact that I thought Hunter was a great writer and didn't get enough credit for what he had done to journalism. Because I think
he created a whole new avenue, a path that other people like yourselves be a little more at the edge, I guess.
Well, outside the standard format of, inverted pyramid objective journalism, he invented this genre that was called gonzo. It was highly charged, sometimes fictionalized, very subjective, first person, amphetamine-fueled, drug-fueled, booze-fueled, but it got at the truth of the situation greater than the truth could get at the situation.
Now, this was a biography that you
Right.
wrote. How did you get to know him? Did you spend time with him? Did you call him on the phone and say, I want to do a book about you?
I met him in the 70s, and then I did write a book on him earlier when he was alive in the early 90s. And he was very cooperative with me. And I found out later on that he really liked that book. He never told me he liked it. He offered to gouge my eyes out for writing it. But he did. A couple of his friends have told me, he used to get your book down and ask people to read out loud from it. And he says, I was the only person that understood him. And I was kind of touched when I learned that. But I started this book in a few months after he committed suicide in 2005. And I didn't have a really solid friendship with him. I knew him, run into him on a couple of occasions and spent time with him. But I was trying to recreate him from scratch, and usually by talking to his friends. I talked to people that knew him in first grade. I talked to his ex-wives. I talked to people that covered stories with him, and so it was kind of recreating somebody. And most of his friends have, in fact, all of them have said very kind things about it. That this is the real guy. This is not the cartoon character.
How can people get the book?
Well, they could go to Inkwood Books because, of course, we always push the local independent bookstore. But
7 o'clock tonight, Inkwood Books.
That's right. But they can...
At 8 o'clock, is that where you're going to be?
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock.
Tonight?
Yeah, I got
About a half hour
out of here. And but any bookstore or online or whatever, I just like to support your independent bookstore.
I think that's awesome. Good job for you.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I've been well.
You thought I was going to ask you about C&D, so you're all prepared, huh?
I'm all prepared for C&D.
I was going to ask you about Best Of.
Best of. Oh, you know,
how's that going?
Best of the Bay is going really well. We have a record number of online votes.
Do you really?
Best of the Bay issue is coming up later this summer. It's always something to look forward to by everybody as we laud the best people and we make fun of the worst people. That's the easy part. There's lots of worst people. And so if you haven't voted online, go online and vote. Tampa.creativeloafing.com, and the Best of the Bay clicker is right there. You know, clicker, that's an official web term, I guess.
It's a click.
Click,
it's a clicky. When's it end? It's good. They got to hurry, don't they?
Yeah, you know, there is a deadline for it, and I just don't know what it is. Because
I think it's like in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's very, very soon, because all I know is when that happens, then I have to tabulate all the votes, and so my life becomes very difficult.
Who wrote your
My job description, it wasn't
yeah.
me. My job description was not written by me, I can tell you that right now.
All right, well, what's going on this weekend?
C&D, look, since Bill is here and he wrote a book about Bob Dylan, I'm going to stay with the rock and roll ethos of Hunter Thompson, and that is go out to the Beach Theater Friday night. It's Friday Night Cult Flicks. It has the great, great movie, The Other Side of the Mirror, Bob Dylan live at the Newport Folk Festival.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. He owns a personal copy of it.
And we'll give it 4 thumbs up.
There you go. 6. There we go. But this is great. This is where Dylan, went from acoustic to, non-acoustic, and it's a great piece of history. Go see it in a theater where you can see it big, and the Beach Theater is a beautiful place to support.
It is a beautiful place to do it. And there's also a country concert at the Amphitheater Saturday night.
There's a country concert going on. Mamma Mia is in town, and the Royal So-and-Sos are, I think that's the country concert, right? The Royal So-and-Sos?
Rascal Flats at the Ford Amphitheater on Saturday. I guess I won't be seeing you there, huh?
Well, I have other plans.
And then Embedded is at the Job Site Theater, opening
Embedded
night
Job
tonight.
Site opens.
Are you going to go see that?
I'm going to try to get by there. It's a great political play.
It is a great
I'm
political
all about politics.
I hear it's pretty funny. Some people I know went to the preview last night, and it was unbelievable. On opening night tonight,
well, David Jenkins, if he's involved with Job Site, they do a great job. So
yeah, they did.
I trust him.
Well, thank you both, William, Bill.
Thank you
for coming, and good luck tonight with your book signing.
Thank you.
That's going to be exciting. Is that your first or no?
No, this is the end of the tour.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Stopping off here.
But he may play some new encore, so we're very excited about that.
Well, thank you very much, Wayne. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you, Janet.
We are going to take our next break. I'm going to take my next break. There's no we here tonight.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It's very strange.
Discombobulated a little bit. I'm going to take my next break. When we come back, we're going to be chatting with Mitch Silver from Silver Auctions and our own Jim Kopsick. Tampa Bay's Media Talk is presented by Tampa Digital Studios, sponsored by the Creative Loafing. And please come down to the Brewing Company. Come and hang out. Check out.